We ask the Lord that you bless us, you multiply the food and the drink around the world for those less fortunate. Remember those who throughout our AHEPA domain, our daughters of Penelope, our sons and our maids. You are our God everywhere. Guide us with thy virtue and with thy strength. Bless also the servants who have attended today. Bless our servant of God, Christopher. Keep him always in your grace and in your light. You are God now and ever to the ages of ages. For Christ is risen from the dead, by death trampling upon death, giving life to those in the tombs. Truly he is risen. Amen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention, please. We're going to get started with the ceremony. All right, thank you. Before we begin, I just want to take a moment to recognize the fellow members of the AHEPA community that are here with us today. So first we have AHEPA Supreme Secretary Jimmy Kokotas. We have AHEPA District 6 Governor Ted Stamas. AHEPA District 6 Treasurer Ted Malgarinos. AHEPA District 6 Director of Membership James Zafiros. Albany AHEPA Chapter 140 President George Pappis. Daughters of Penelope Alobi Chapter 158 President Diane Cullen. AHEPA Delphi Chapter 25 President Argyris Argyutakos. AHEPA Hermes Chapter 186 President and past AHEPA District 6 Marshal George Zubelos. Daughters of Penelope past Grand President Christine Constantine Malgarinos. Just a few more. Daughters of Penelope past District Governor Maria Patelis. AHEPA past District Governor Mike Papafotis. AHEPA past District Governor John Polydoris. And of course, last but not least, we have AHEPA District 6 Secretary Chris Pappis. Alright, so the first speaker that we have here today to speak on behalf of Chris is traveling along with his wife Betty from New Rochelle, New York to be with us today. He is a former son of Pericles, a longtime member of the Order of AHEPA, Chapter 405 of New Rochelle. Last year, actually, his chapter had more than 150 members, which ranked 8th nationally in the AHEPA domain, which I thought was something to be proud of. In addition, he's also a member of the Empire State District Lodge and is currently serving as membership director. He has also served 30 years as a member of the Board of Trustees for his church, Holy Trinity of New Rochelle. He is an archon of the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople and a recipient of the highly coveted Ellis Island Medal of Honor. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome with you our first speaker, James Zafiros.
Good morning, everyone. Before I begin, I want you to know this is the first time I visited your parish. It is absolutely magnificent. And to the founders and the builders and the presidents who built your church and your community center, my compliments. A job well done. Father Patrick, Mr. President, members of the St. Sophia community, the Sons of Pericles, Brother AHEPans, and AHEPA leaders, my wife Betty and I are delighted to be here today to join with you in this very special, well-earned tribute to Chris Pappis. Chris I bring congratulations to you from your extended Albany family, and to your extended Albany family from my parish, Holy Trinity in New Rochelle, and the James Plevritis Joseph C. Keene, AHEPA Chapter 405. We thank you for your unwavering support over the years, and especially for attending our annual December signature event. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my understanding every year the sons recognize someone in the community for their exceptional performance. The person chosen is very selfless, caring individual who is appreciated and admired by his peers. Their selection of this year's honoree, Chris Pappis, simply elevates the award to new heights and makes the honor even more meaningful, not only for Chris and for the Sons of Pericles of your community, but to all Americans. As a former member of the Son of Pericles myself, of the Junior Order, I admire your approach to Hellenism, your wisdom, your community, and your spirit. Chris's contributions to his community and to the much broader segments of society, especially at his age, are beyond impressive and deserve recognition. Now, to understand the humility of this award, it's important, certainly for me and for others, to first know who Chris Pappis is. Now, most of you know he's a graduate of St. Rose in Albany. What I didn't know is that he earned both a Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics, Adolescence Education, and a Master in Science Education with concentration in Educational Technology. That is some resume. He achieved a remarkable, perfect 4.0 grade with very exceptional achievements. With these very impressive academic credentials, he found a path to success and become a statistician for the New York State Workmen's Compensation Board. Chris is a fourth-generation member of the AHEPA Albany family, going back to his great-grandfather, I believe. His fraternal roots go back to his early days as a member of the Sons chapter. Today, along with his younger brother, Matthew, and his father, George, the family carries on the tradition of membership born more than 50 years ago in Albany. Now, I should tell you, up until about 3 years ago, I didn't know Chris. I got to know him when he was unanimously elected to the Empire State District Lodge as district secretary. Our joint efforts required us to work closely with each other. However, working with Chris also simply required some lifestyle changes on my end. To keep up with him, it's no easy task, as many of you know. I'm a 50-year member of AHEPA, and age eventually takes its toll. Now, here's my narrative, folks. My late night routine includes watching the 11 o'clock news. And at 11:30, like many of you, I usually would comfortably fall asleep watching those fantastic reruns of Seinfeld, keeping his pals Costanza, Kramer, Elaine from getting into trouble, and keeping his nemesis, Noman, as far away from him as possible. I'm sure all of you are aware of this. Now, my computer was in my office, adjacent to my bedroom. And before I met Chris, the email notification buzzer would rarely ring after 11 p.m. Understand that. It would never ring after 11 p.m. Well, this all changed working with Chris. The email buzzer started ringing, and ringing after 11:30 p.m. It interrupted my routine. It was an introduction to Chris's work schedule, and before I knew it, the 11:30 p.m. hour quickly became the Chris Pappis hour, pushing Seinfeld off the screen. Now, as time went on, I found out more of Chris's routine. He was fearless. He had a non-stop work ethic. His schedule, in addition to his AHEPA workload, includes spreading his wings over numerous parishes in New York and Connecticut. As their webmaster, he has worked handling donations of Christmas gifts to the Bernard and Millie Duker Children's Hospital at Albany Medical Center, which lifted service to another level. I'm sure Chris brings the same relentless work ethic and pursuit of excellence to his job as he does to your community. His journey includes recognition from his college and his employer. His numerous AHEPA and Sons of Pericles awards are proudly and prominently displayed in his home or earned for being an exceptional, generous, compassionate human being. Fortunately for all of us, he's a Greek American, an American, with a unique vision about where technology can take us in the 21st century. His infectious philanthropic spirit reminds all of us that no matter your craft, your passion, our most noble calling as human beings is to selflessly foster hope in and chase despair from the lives of others. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Pappis is a model 21st century Hellene who proudly captures the American spirit. Brother Chris, Axios.
Thank you, Brother James. For our second speaker today, he's traveling with us from Whitestone, New York. He has served as chapter president of the AHEPA chapter 495 down in Whitestone for 12 years, which his father actually founded back in 1981. He currently serves on the Empire State District Lodge. In addition, he has been a 35-year member of the Holy Cross Greek Orthodox Church of Whitestone, and he is also a member of the Saints Anagiri, Taxiarchis, and Gerasimos Greek Orthodox Church in Greenport, New York. As well, he has served on the Goya and CYO basketball coach, and he is a multiple-year recipient of the Monsignor Sullivan Sportsmanship Award and Medal. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you our second speaker of today, AHEPA Empire State District Governor Theodore Stanis.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you so much for inviting us. I think it's a great job that the Sons chapter is doing here, and very commendable of the Sons chapter to recognize Chris Pappis here this afternoon. I'm glad that Jim Zafiris went ahead of me, because that leaves me with so much less to cover about Chris, his career, his community service, his church service, and his AHEPA service. We were here about 2 years ago when Chris was honored with the AHEPA of the Year award from the AHEPA chapter here. And I think in that instance, I gave the long speech, so I'm not going to do that again. Thank you, Brother Jim, for bailing me out. Chris is the kind of guy, I think everybody has gotten to know him in this close-knit Albany community of St. Sophia, where when he's called upon to do something, he rises to the occasion, does it 120% of what you expected him to do, really puts his heart and soul into it. And I don't think anyone has been disappointed whenever they've called upon Chris to do something in furtherance of the church, the AHEPA, or any of these other social events, including your festival, which I know what he does for your church festival here. Chris is a guy that I rely on as district governor, and have relied on him for the past 2 years that I've been district governor, and each and every time he comes through. Not only do I rely upon him as district secretary, but at times it seems he is the every chapter's super secretary, because he takes on the responsibilities of the chapters in election reporting, in promoting chapter events, in keeping people abreast of district events, and so forth. He's also become somewhat, in the past year, of a secretary for our Supreme Governor, Tom Duchess, who has leaned on him for help in a lot of areas, and Chris, without a doubt, without hesitation, has answered that calling as well. He does it, and he does it from his heart, and he doesn't have to do it. And frequently I tell Chris, you need to instruct these chapters, the officers in these chapters, on how to take care of their own business and free you up for what we need you for. Chris is not like that. He will not tell them no. He will not tell them. He will jump on board, he will take care of it for them, and he would also teach them how to do it themselves. A year passes, there's new elections in that chapter, new officers, and once again, Chris is doing the reporting for the chapters. Chris is dealing with the website, the membership portal, and everything. And he's just that kind of guy, which really is amazing. So Jimmy was talking about his lifestyle changes. And I can tell you one thing, in the past 2 years that I've been district governor, even when I was lieutenant governor, even when I was district marshal, I have frequent communication with Chris, and that's really where my respect for him is born out of, the contact that he's had with me before I was district governor. But now, as district governor, I can tell you that while Jimmy Zafiris is reading emails at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, I'm on the phone with Chris Pappis at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, almost every night. And I'm sure he tells you that, because he tells me he's emailing you. So it's not just doing one thing at a time, he's doing 2 things at a time, and I don't know, maybe when Jimmy Copertis comes up here, we'll find out something else that's going on around midnight with Chris Pappis. But almost every night, we're on the phone. If we're not on the phone, he's texting me, I'm texting him back. The district has become, our district, as you may know, is going to have over 1,500 members now for the first time in many, many years. It makes our district the #1 district in the world for AHEPA, representing more than 10% of AHEPA's worldwide members. We've established new chapters in our district. We've revitalized new chapters. Binghamton was revitalized. Binghamton's coming up May 29th. Schenectady's been revitalized, Port Jefferson's been revitalized, we started a chapter in Middletown. These will take time and effort from everybody. So you can imagine what the secretary's responsibilities are with respect to these new chapters and new initiatives to grow our district. There's a charter that has to be taken care of, there are membership applications that have to be approved by the district lodge. There's all kinds of accounting issues with membership dues and so forth, and a lot of liaison issues between the new chapters, the revitalized chapters, the district, and national. And Chris has risen to the occasion each and every time to do that. And unfortunately, well, maybe fortunately we have Chris with those hours, but unfortunately for some of us, we have to work with him at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night to make sure this gets done. So it's not just the emails and the texts, but it's phone calls. And it's all part of the new AHEPA and the way AHEPA does business now. It's no longer sitting back and seeing who comes to the door, through our door as a member, asking an inquisitive question, what is AHEPA, and so forth. We're reaching out to people, and we wouldn't be able to do that. We wouldn't be able to grow the way we've grown if it wasn't for Chris. So I applaud the Sons chapter here for recognizing Chris. I know he was instrumental in helping them with their the Sons and Daughters Valentine's Day dance. I believe it was the 40th anniversary this year. Instrumental with helping them promote it and so forth. And my hats off to the Sons chapter for recognizing the kind of leadership that Chris provides and the kind of work ethic that he has, and making this all possible. So we all take a moment to pause and thank Chris for his work on behalf of the AHEPA family. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brother Ted. The last speaker that we have here today has been a 15-year member of Coney Island AHEPA Chapter 200 in Brooklyn. He's also served a number of offices for AHEPA in the past, which include AHEPA District 6 Governor, AHEPA Supreme Governor, National Advisor to the Sons of Pericles, AHEPA Supreme Treasurer, and he currently serves as the AHEPA Supreme Secretary. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to present to you our third speaker, Brother Jimmy Kokotas, AHEPA Supreme Secretary.
Thank you, everyone. It is indeed an honor to be here with you today. You heard all the stories, all the emails, so before I continue, I'd like to say, Chris, on behalf of Betty Zafiris, she personally wants to thank you for keeping Jim up at night, because it gives her a chance to get into bed and fall asleep before he gets into bed and starts snoring. She hasn't felt so good in many years, not been able to sleep, and if you've heard Jim Zafiris sleep and snore, it's a problem. Well, I've heard the tape recording, so yes. So Betty, I'm not sure if the emails will continue after today. Chris might be intimidated, but you're okay with them continuing, right? Just wanted to make sure. Yes. It's always a pleasure to be here in Albany. Having traveled through much of the country visiting chapters, I like to toot the horn of this community, because this is really one of the crown jewel communities that we have in the AHEPA family. Sons, maids, daughters, AHEPA, an extremely wonderful priest in Father Pat, who's a brother also, as well as our spiritual leader here. This is what it's all about. And by honoring Chris today, you get an idea of the makeup of this community and the appreciation it has for Chris and people like it, his work ethic, his dedication to all the organizations, not only of this community, but of neighboring communities. I came today from my in-laws' house, which is in Wyndham, and I know Chris helps that church as well with their web stuff and the different things going on in that little church in Wyndham, which is a very transient community. And how many of those communities he helps to keep alive? It's that kind of passion that is missing a lot, I hate to say, from today's society. See, Chris is a young man living in 2018, but obviously the values that have been instilled in him are old school values. That passion, that dedication, the work ethic. Those are the values that help build these communities. Those are the values that help build the organization of AHEPA. Those are the values that help the AHEPans go out into communities where there were no churches and try to build those new churches and take this step further when we knew that we were persecuted as Greek Americans because we looked differently, we sounded differently, but we weren't scared of the uphill battle. And Chris is a prime example of somebody who is never looking for a shortcut. He won't say no because he doesn't know how to say no, because if it's within his being to do something, he's going to try to do it. For all of us, I'm sure sometimes we're too lazy to get out of bed, make excuses to do certain things. I personally have found Chris very inspiring, because sometimes when I'm feeling like that, I'll think about somebody like Chris who is sending those emails, and I get the text messages at night too, just so you know. The secret that I've learned, because my wife needs to get up at 5:15 in the morning, so if he wakes her up, I pay the price, Chris. The secret with Chris is to not answer, because once you answer, you're going back and forth, and it's definitely going to be an hour. So thank you, Chris, for some of those late night fights that you've got me into. But in all seriousness, congratulations to the Sons of Pericles chapter for honoring and picking somebody of Chris's stature. Chris, I know 4th generation is pretty tough. They got big shoes to fill. I'm sure your great-grandparents are proud, your grandparents are proud. I know recently, the passing of your mom. But your legacy changes everything. Because the way your dad's sitting there right now, mom's sitting someplace smiling. You keep up that work. Don't let anybody down. Don't let God down or your parents down. Don't let Father Pat down, because he'll get really mad. Keep up the good work, because that's what it's about. Don't leave anything on the table. When it's all said and done, the majority of this world is leaving everything on the table and forgetting what's important. As long as we have people like Chris in our organization and this community, we'll be fine. Mike Babafortis, can you please, we have a special presentation to make to Chris on behalf of the Supreme Lodge. So Chris, if you'll come forward for this. Okay, this is the AHEPA Service Award presented to Christopher G. Pappis in appreciation and recognition for your years of dedication, devotion, and sincere commitment to your chapter, the AHEPA family, and the entire Albany community. You serve as an example for all to follow. Order of AHEPA Supreme Lodge, Carl Hollis, the Supreme President, April 29th, 2018. Congratulations, Brother Chris.
One, two, three. Next one, and here.
So Chris, as the past few speakers have touched on, you truly are one of a kind to our community, and I can say with certainty that I don't know another person that can do all the things that you do on top of working full-time for the state. What you do truly is remarkable for our community, and on behalf of the Sons of Pericles, I want you to know how truly grateful we are to have someone like you as more kind of like a liaison for the AHEPA family, and as for the whole church community as a whole. You set the bar high, and I feel bad for the number of people who have to take over your responsibilities, because I know not one person can do it, and they're going to have some big shoes to fill. So Nick, if you'd like to come up. On behalf of the Albany Sons of Pericles, we would like to present you a plaque of our appreciation and as a token of gratitude for all the work that you have done for us, for the AHEPA family, for the St. Sophia community, and I know for all of the work that you will continue to do in the future, because it's such, it means a lot to you, and it means a lot to us to have somebody like you in our community. So we're going to give you this plaque. We have the sons.
One more. Two of you. Okay. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our ceremony for today. I would like to let you know that we still do have a little bit of food left over if anybody's still hungry and wants to grab some seconds. And before we do end, I would like to thank the members in the kitchen who helped us prepare the food today. Mr. Mealis is in the back. Mr. and Mrs. Calabrese are in the back over there. And Alex Avanciales don't know another person like him that cracks the eggs like him. Without him, we couldn't have done the fresh eggs, and we appreciate it. So, thank you all very much for coming. We appreciate it. We're so nice.
Well, why don't we finish the story, Chris? I had a new iPhone because of you. With all those messages. Father Dennis is also a brother in our AHEPA chapter. For those who haven't met Father Dennis, he's going to do the closing prayer. We're going to again sing Christos Anesti, Stelinikasis Parakalo. If you don't know the words, just lip sync. Anyway, God bless you. Congratulations, Chris, from all of us. By the way, he's in the altar too. And for those of you who can't see what he's doing, Father Dennis, he's directing traffic. He even sometimes tells me which direction I'm supposed to be going in, which I think is kind of cute because I need someone to take my job. Jimmy, I want to retire too, you know. I need someone to take my job also. God bless you, and thank you all for coming and honoring Christopher Pappis today. Christos anesti ek nekron thanaton padisas yedisendis nimasi zoin charisameno. Glory to the Father, to the Son, to the Holy Spirit, now and ever, to the ages of ages. Amen. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Father bless.
In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Lord Jesus Christ, our God, we beseech Thee. We ask for a special blessing on Christopher, who is a devoted member of this community and of the AHEPA family. We all know the amount of work that he does for the church and for AHEPA. And from all of our hearts, we truly say we appreciate everything you do for us, Christopher. May God bless you. May God keep you. May God strengthen you. And may you have a long and prosperous and healthy life. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
You want to say anything, Chris? I knew he wanted to say something.
Something? He has a book of it. Where is she?
It would not have been in keeping with the program.
Honored guests, I wish to thank you for attending today's ceremony. As a recipient of this special award, I am but one person who is today blessed to be in the same company as those before me, who were deemed worthy of similar recognition for their contributions. It has been a pleasure for me to serve the St. Sophia community in the Order of AHEPA. I joined the Sons of Pericles, both in Chapter 44 in 2001, and in 2009 joined AHEPA Chapter 140. In addition, I am honored to also serve as AHEPA District 6 Secretary since 2015. It has been a deep pleasure to serve the Lodge, Chapters, and Brothers of District 6, and to also work closely with the brand new chapter, Hudson Odyssey 545, located in Middletown, New York. I see a great future for AHEPA, and I look forward to being an increasingly integral part of its growth. Once again, I thank you all for your love and sacrifice of time to attend today's event. I deeply appreciate your esteem, support through the years, and humbled by this honor. In closing, there is one person who's not here today. I miss very dearly my departing mother, Karen Pappis. She instilled in me the values that have led me to become a good person and go to heaven. Thank you.